clay that we are using. It looks like this when it is bisqued. Okay, big difference there, right? Yeah. So you're going to be using have a red clay body, even though your clay looks kind of brown. This is your slip. There's a couple of containers. There's another one over there that has some clay on it. And then I have a bunch of small little bowls. You're going to need to share the slip. So you're going to take a spoon, you're going to scoop out some of this slip. It's just like a really watery clay mixture. You just need a little bit of water. At the end of class, you're going to take anything that's left in your cup, you're going to scoop it back into the kind of group container, and you're going to wash out the cup that you used. Our tools, we're not fancy here. We use toothpicks and what are these, like ice cream scoops? So you guys will grab your tools as well. So to roll a coil, I'm going to take a small amount of my clay. And you want to try not to wrap air into your clay. The clay that I'm going to give you is going to be probably in a cube, and it's going to be a chunk, and it's already been de-aired, and it's pretty consistent throughout. It's a really nice plastic consistency. To roll a coil, and I know this seems silly, but if for some reason it's more difficult than people originally think it is, you need to use your entire hand, from the heel of your hand to your fingertips, okay? I always start out with, one hand until I get it to be a little bit big or long, and then I start to use two hands, and I push it from the inside out as I roll my coil. If you just, go like this, you wind up with flat coils.
Effort.
Well, yeah, that too. You want your coils to be no thinner than your pencil. Now, I mentioned the other day too, try to keep your coils nice and consistent in thickness, unless you have this vision that maybe you want thicker coils and thinner coils in your design. That could be kind of cool if you thought about it and used it intentionally. All right.
A big Tootsie Roll.
Yeah. So I'm trying to make sure it's nice and even here. You have to make your flat bottom first. So I need to make sure I'm slipping and scoring. Anywhere 2 pieces of clay meat must be slipped and scored. So I'm going to do this, I'm going to try and do this kind of fast. Scoring doesn't have to be pretty. Some people will sit there and go,
yeah.
You don't have all the time in the world. So scoring needs to be kind of
you got fast.
Make it
quick.
striped.
I mean, and I'm not saying be messy about it. I'm just saying, All right, then I like to put my slip on. I'm just gonna use my finger and get my score marks kind of wet here. You don't want to smear out your score marks. So if you notice that they're getting kind of smeared, go back in and add more score marks. Now I'm gonna start to wrap this up. And as I go, anywhere that those 2 pieces of clay are gonna meet, I'm going to try and put in more score marks. So I'm going to keep going. For demo purposes, we're fast forwarding here. I'm scoring the whole way. Then you have to go, okay, is that big enough? Do I want my pot to be bigger? Then I need to make another coil and keep going. Or if you're happy with it, awesome. Now you have choices. Do I want this to stay as a coil, or do I want it blended? If you want it blended, you can take your finger and blend it. You could take your tool and blend it. Tool is faster to begin with, but usually it doesn't look as nice. So usually I will blend first with my tool, and then I will go back in and smooth it out with my finger. Because my finger makes it look nice and smooth. I might want to smooth this into that coil. I can kind of round it out a little bit more. So shape it, manipulate it. If I want to smooth out the bottom, the other side, I could do that too. Now I'm ready to start building upwards with my coils. And this is where your drawing comes in. If you have to think about what direction do you need your pot to go. Are they going to go out? Are they going to go up? Are you going to go in? How do you need to stack your coils in order to make the piece that you intend to make. I'll start you out with a pretty decent sized chunk. It'll probably be something like that.
Okay.
And if you need more, I will give you more. And if you don't use it all, then you can give it back to me.
And then we can tear that in the pieces to make different coils?
Yep.
Okay.
I don't like to work with giant coils. So I would rather use a few smaller ones and just kind of connect them together. So now I'm going to score all the way around. I'm going right on top. Don't go on the side or do some, try and do some weird corner thing. Just go right on top. I'm going to add score marks to my coil. I'm going to put my slip on. Don't need a ton of slip, but this clay's pretty wet. And then I'm going to match up my score marks. And this is where I like to overlap my two coils. This is a fancy ceramics move. I hope you guys are all ready for this one. I'm going to overlap my coils. I'm going to cut through both of them at a diagonal. And then I'm going to remove the extra ends. And they should, ta-da!
Oh, that's beautiful.
Wow.
Beautiful.
That is
Perfect
amazing.
join, right?
Just
Thank you. Thank you. I'm going to
Came up
slip
with
and
it.
score those ends together. And now I have the choice. Do I want to blend this one into the bottom? If you're going to blend either the inside or the outside, I recommend that you do it as you go. Don't wait until the end, because if you're going like this, you won't be able to try and blend the inside. Be aggressive with your blending so that you get it fully blended from one coil into the base. Like I said, it's kind of rough at first, and then I like to kind of neaten it up a little bit. You could also blend then, of course, that outside part. If you see score marks, they're not going to magically disappear. So if you don't like seeing your score marks, then you need to go through and make sure that you smooth them out or use your tool to help you smooth them out, or you can blend them, either one. Here's my
The region will be closed for the next week after school. Thank you.
So now I would just keep adding my coils. If I want my piece to start to go out, then I add my coils slightly to the outside as I go. And as you're blending, make sure you're kind of pulling in that direction. If you want your pieces to go to the inside, you add your coils slightly to the inside as you go and blend them towards the inside. If you just want them to go straight up, then you just put your coils right on top and make sure that you blend in that direction when you do your blending, okay? When you are at the end of class, you would take your plastic bag, you would put your piece inside, and because I have two pieces, I'm going to put both of them inside. Let's say you've already made a coil, and you don't want to smush it up and put it back into the community bag because you spent time to make that coil. Then coil it up, put it on your piece or whatever it might be. It's not going to stick because you're not going to slip and score it onto your piece. You're just going to lay it on top. You can put that into your bag as well, and you can wrap all of these up. I'm even like layering this, and then I will give you a piece of masking tape with your name on it. You guys are the two bottom shells over there with the polka dot tape on it, and you're going to leave your piece over there for safekeeping until the next class period. And then you need to make sure that you do a good job cleaning up, okay? If you have tape on your placemat, then remove it. If you have crumbles on your placemat, dump them into a garbage can, and we're going to try and save a tree or two by reusing